Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be making a 10 cards, 1 kit video from the Simon Says Stamp February 2019 card kit. This will probably be in at least 2 parts, so please come back. I'm using the stamp set that came in the kit, and I'm showing that I put off one of the stamps onto a block, and it's a little row of flowers. And you can also see the row of music notes on the other side, so please disregard those right now. But I'm stamping out these little flowers, and I'm going to use them later. You will see in more than one card. And then I'm also going to stamp off the Love You Always sentiment and cut it out, and you can see where I've cut some of the other things, stamped some of the other things I'll be cutting out later. Now this first card, I'm going to use some black cardstock and an old Martha Stewart punch for an edge trim. And this one has a corner, so you line up the corner of the paper into the corner punch, and then on the other straight grain punch, it shows you where to line up your corner if you have a corner. And so it's really fun to use. And you line up the base of your card against the edge of the card too to keep it straight. That's why I'm holding it down there. And then you fold up the wings and put it away for storage. Now I also use vintage neutral ink to go around most of my pieces of paper, even the sentiment as you just saw, with a makeup sponge, and it gives it a little frame, a little edge. And so all of these pieces are going to go together now. They've been off drying with the Tombow Mono Multi Glue, and that makes it repositionable. I put down the edge piece. You see what it looks like all finished out. There are the three, actually 4 pieces of the flower trim that I put in a rectangle, and the sentiment in the middle, and then I used a piece of aqua light blue to go down there just for interest, to make it really pretty and make it pop. Now I also decided to take it one step further and put a black background on it if you wanted a scrapbook page or the cover of some sort of a little booklet. So Love You Always, there are the flowers, and that was card number 1. So here's card number 2. I'm going to use the row of musical notes, and since it's a long strip of stamp, I decided to twist it and turn it and make it wavy. Now the idea that I'm going for here, that I had in my head, was to make this in a circle of sorts, to make it like a wreath, and then pile things on top of it. And I used some raffia straw type material, and then stamp some more of these little flowers, and we'll cut them out, and some other things you'll see in a minute, the bird and other things. But I like to tear this rope or twine apart and make it very, very thin, and as a result it's curly and twisted. And I'm also kind of going for a nest theme here, but I had that one really pretty skinny little sliver of yarn there that is gold, and so it's quite a contrast, the gold with the straw look. But I wanted to show very quickly how thick this started out, and I just keep taking it apart, making it thinner and thinner. That way it has more body, more bounce, and you can stack them together. There are different kinds of twine, and you might, if you have some, maybe even in your garage, you might play with it, see which look you like better. It helps if you can hold that up against the table and lean on it with your body, and it helps it to keep from getting so twisted upon itself. Now I'm just lightly tacking this down with little globs of glue here and there, and then holding it down with something heavy that'll weight it down and have it to make contact with the paper, because obviously it would be very difficult to glue the whole thing down all the way around, and this gets the job done. And then we are also going to put some things on top of that. So These are the things that I stamped. The bird, as I said, the little heart with flowers at the bottom, and then a single flower. And I have them off to the side. They've been drying with the glue, so now they're repositionable. And putting these two down here. Here is the little heart with flowers on it. These are all in the kit. Here is the single flower, and I'm just layering them. And there is the bird. He is kind of in a nest-looking situation there. I'm going back and erasing some of the little tick marks I made as to where I wanted to line these up. And then I'm going to slip under there the Love You Always. I did color. It was quite obvious that I colored one of them. I wanted it to be a black and white look with the straw, but I did go back and add a punch of color on that one with different shades of red. And of course you can and may need to go back and trim some of these wild strands that are sticking out just as much as you want. Then again, as with the other one, to just really frame it off to make it a piece of art, really. In this case, is a bigger piece of paper, and then I brought in the red from my own stash. But there's some green leaves, but that's what it looks like up close and personal. And I think this could be a pretty booklet cover if you wanted to do that. I also wanted to show how dimensional that is, because when you glue those pieces down on top of the straw, it's like putting it on foam tape. It is sticking up. It's attached, but it's sticking up, and I wanted to show you that. Now, card number 3. In this kit, there is a bunch of pattern paper, and then some of these little cards that are like little individual pictures or tags that match the pattern paper. So I'm using one right now with the boy and girl, the portrait, man and woman silhouette. And I'm going to use this sentiment stamp, and I put the pictures up in the corner so that I would not glued down yet, but just to show me how much space I had to stamp in the sentiment. So I'll be layering them like this, but the glue's not on there yet. This is a very, very simple little Sizzix die, and that's what it looks like. I've had it for long time, and so I wanted one little twig of branches there. Now, some of the stamping, I kind of made a mess with some of the little lines down at the bottom, so I'm trying to correct it with the pen and attach it as if it should be there. And I was showing that you could use the white. You could always stamp the sentiment off and put it on top of this, the one on the paper, if it didn't work out. So now the glue is on and dried, and I'm layering these together, black, white, red, and it's a different shade of red I got from my stash to kind of try to match up with the picture, because it's almost a brick red, or what else to call it, but cinnamon red, or you know, more, as I said, the brick red. So that goes onto there. I messed up, I'll just confess, on the leaves. I glued the wrong side. So now I'm trying to make it work, and I'm twisting it around. And I thought, you know what, I don't like that space in there. So I'm going to get another one and just cut off one leaf and fill in that space with an extra leaf. Of course, I could have just glued the whole thing down on top of that and made it thicker, and then the leaf would have been there. But anyway, so that is the way that turned out for a simple card, but effective. Now the next one is going to be using some more pattern paper and another one of the little pieces of a picture that go with, they all mix and match so well. This paper is two-sided. I wanted to show you that. So here we go. I'm just showing you what this will look like. I haven't glued it down yet. I'm going to go a little off center here with a longer piece of black and red and white and the pattern paper, and then I'm going to draw off some hearts, color them with Prismacolors, speed through this so you don't have to watch that, but little darkening, shading. And then I will cut them out. You can see some off to the right over there that have already been cut out. And I will go back and use a jelly roll pen. I just stuck the heart back in there to secure it a little bit, and then make a little shade line there, and with the white. Then all of them are going to get a good healthy coat of glossy accent so that they will be very shiny. Now again, I use my neutral ink and the makeup sponge, go around the edges, and then there is the glue being applied. So to put it all together, white and red with just a little bit of the white showing. Pattern paper, that black and white stripe will get your eyes going there. The black piece. Trying to line that up. And then the red piece. And now we'll put the little picture on top of this, which is something about a little boy. And so then here are the hearts that have been sitting off, drying from the glossy accents and the Tombow Mono Multi glue. Just keeping it really simple with some curvy lines to go with all the straight lines. There they are. I like that. I like that combination a lot. And then this is the last card for today. This is card number 5. This is a larger card, you may can tell, with the cardstock from the kit. Beautiful pale white, and there's a, pale pink, and there is a very bright pink, and the craft. So I had made some marks. I'm going back and erasing those. I made a lot of marks on this particular card and went back and had to do a lot of erasing, but I didn't make you sit through all that and watch it. But it did happen. So now here's a piece of the pattern paper. One of my favorites, actually, the wood grain with pink and brown. I love pink and khaki. Well, this, being craft, I love those colors together. I think they're so soft. So lining that up, I did have to add some more paper. I will go back and add some more paper to the back of that card. I didn't have enough to fold that over because it was so large, so I will glue on another piece of paper on the back in case you caught that. Now here comes a piece of craft, a slightly smaller piece of black, and I will go back and straighten all this up a little bit later. It's not quite straight. And then one of the pictures again, and instead of putting it down straight the way I have done all the others, I decided to turn it at an angle just to add some interest. And I think the colors are just very pretty, but I needed something at the top, and I could have had put a large sentiment, but I decided to do something different. I put a strip of white and a strip of black, and this is the musical notes stamped down with the Simon Says sticky ink and some of the embossing powder that came in the kit. And then I'm just showing that I used the heat gun. I didn't get that part filmed, but it did happen. Now I went back with some white ink on a makeup sponge and just lightly went on the top because the musical notes were not showing up on that black. And here's one with just solid black, and you can see the difference. The dark black is beautiful, but the little musical notes aren't showing up very much. So I'll put them side by side and let you see the comparison. And you can see the gloss, which is very nice, but it has to be at a certain angle, or otherwise it would look as if I just put a piece of black paper up there. So I'm happy enough with that and the kind of gray that it turned into. And just quickly to show you how I did that, the only thing I didn't get on camera was using the heat gun on purpose, but you know how that goes. But I did this sticky ink, put it down on the black strip, poured the embossing powder on there and shook it off and then melted it. So that's it. Here are the still shots. It's 5 cards today. There will be more. There may be as many as 15, so please come back. There's a lot to use in this kit, and it's fun to be creative with this. So thanks for joining me so much. There'll be some more videos at the end that you might like to see, and you can click those on. I hope you have a wonderful day and have some time to do some creating, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.